Forbes magazine has indicated that this one skill is one of the most desired skills in the workplace for the next 5 years. And according to the Good Institute survey of 2022, business leaders and the general public prefers this skill in their leaders. And research indicates that some of the most successful and competent leaders possess this one skill. This is what they have in common. So what skill am I referring to? I'm talking about the skill of emotional intelligence. Now, we've heard this word throughout the media. You may have heard it being used in the workplace. I have been talking to clients and others throughout my community about emotional intelligence. And what I am beginning to recognize is that people are still not understanding the full scope of what emotional intelligence is. And I blame this partially on media because in the media, it is often reduced down to one word, and that is empathy. So the minute I start talking about emotional intelligence with clients or prospects or associates, the first thing that they talk about is, oh, I really think about other people's feelings. And empathy is a skill of emotional intelligence. But what I'm concerned about is that we are missing out on the power of our knowledge and understanding of our emotions. You see, right here within our hearts and our minds and our bodies, there's a powerful force that can help us to create the change that we want to see in our lives with conscious intention. And so in this video, I want to talk about what emotional intelligence is and to help you get a fuller understanding of how you can apply it in your life and why it is such a valuable skill. Emotional intelligence is a skill that can be developed. And so that's another thing that I often hear is that, this person is lacking emotional intelligence. They're hopeless or it's useless. There's no point. Emotional intelligence is a skill that can be developed using the right tools and with the right knowledge and the right training and coaching. So there are times where we all have had an intention and we wanted a specific outcome. Emotional intelligence is the skill that bridges the gap between intention and outcome. So let me give you some examples. Have you ever been in a situation where you are in a meeting with your manager and your team, and your manager asks for the team's opinion and you want to speak up and share your opinion, but you say nothing? Or maybe you have that coworker, let's give her the name of Sue, who has the habit of venting and going from cubicle to cubicle, dumping all of her unhealthy emotions onto other people. And you say, I'm going to set a boundary with Sue, but instead of doing that, you either fawn, freeze, or blow up. Here's another situation to consider. Perhaps you are working on a project. You've made up your mind that you're going to stick to the deadlines and you're going to complete that project maybe on time or in advance, but you find that you're procrastinating. And once again, you are calling your wife to cancel your date because the project is due today and it needs to be done by midnight. Emotional intelligence is a skill that can be useful in any of these situations. And here's the thing, we often think in these scenarios, it's about the other person. I don't like that client, so the client needs to change, or Sue needs to change, or the people on my team need to change. But really, emotional intelligence begins with you. The foundation is what we call at 6 Seconds Emotional Intelligence Network, self-science, getting to know yourself. So in getting to know yourself, you have this opportunity to explore the emotions that are coming up for you. First of all, acknowledging the emotions that are coming up and asking yourself, what emotion am I feeling, and being able to name that emotion. And then second of all, what is this emotion trying to tell me? You see, our emotions are data. They give us information to help us navigate through whatever we are feeling, wherever we feel stuck or frustrated. So another way of putting it, the way I like to describe it, emotional intelligence helps you to understand what makes you tick, but also what ticks you off. And so we're able to handle our emotions in any situation. So the next time you're in that meeting and you've set an intention that you're going to speak up when the manager asks for the team's opinion, you will acknowledge that it is I who feel some anxiety about speaking up. And so I've worked through this anxiety. I understand what this anxiety is telling me. And now I'm going to speak up in that meeting. I'm uncomfortable with this new client, but it is I who have these emotions that are coming up when I'm working with this client. I can understand that this client reminds me of my mother and it frustrates me. So what is this frustration telling me, and understanding what that data is? These are examples of applying emotions to oneself first. And when we are able to master ourselves by understanding our emotions, by going through that self-science 101, then we are able to master relationships with other people and apply those emotional intelligence skills that we have gained through the relationship with ourselves. So emotional intelligence is a very powerful tool in relationship with oneself, in managing your focus, in making decisions, in motivating oneself, in achieving your goals, and in having healthy relationships with others. So if you want to learn more about emotional intelligence, as well as how you can use mindfulness to deepen your emotional intelligence practices, whether it's in your professional or your personal life, subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me here on social media and stay connected with me. I'll be bringing forward more tips and more insights that I've been gaining in my own personal life, with friends, with clients, and just in general as I continue to practice emotional intelligence.